Okay, number 3. Ooh, alright, so this question, in my opinion, was probably the easiest question in the paper actually. And I'm telling you, it was really straightforward because there's not really much you're doing here. It's just very, very basic algebra. So anyway, well, let's have a look. What do we have here? So it says here that we got a function which is a cubic function where a and b are constants, and it tells us now, and this is the important bit, when fx is divided by 2x minus 1, the remainder is 30. In other words, the solution to this one, the function equals 30 when you plug in a certain x value. Now, when you have like a linear term like this, remember to always equate to 0 and find what the actual x value is. So 2x minus 1 is 0, 2x is 1, and x is half. So all it's saying is literally plug in x is half into this equation and equate to 30. And that's what I did here. So this is the opening statement, and this is what you have to do. Now just literally multiply. So I just put this in my calculator. So I put 24 times half to the power 3 minus 3 times half, and it gave me 3 over 2. Half to the power 2 is a quarter, so a over 4, and you still got b. And then just rearrange it nicely. I just subtracted 3 over 2 across, so 30 minus 3 over 2. And then I multiplied the whole equation by 4, and I got this nice simple expression here. And that's exactly what they want. A plus 4b equals 114. So yeah. Now 2b is also similar. It says here that given also that x plus 1 is a factor for fx. Now pay attention to the words. When something is a factor, it means that the solution will be set to equal 0. Okay, that's what it means. In other words, the first equation was set to equal 30 because there's still a remainder of 30 above. In this case, it's a perfect fit. When something's a perfect fit, it means the equation is set to 0. Now, like the first one, it says x plus 1. This means that you're going to use x equals minus 1. Because remember, equate this is 0 and x is negative 1. So this is the value we're going to plug into the first equation, to the function, and solve when the equation is 0. So basically, this is what I did. F minus 1 is 0. Plug in x equals minus 1 to this equation. Simplify this, and you should get something like this. Minus 21 plus a plus b equals 0. And finally, a plus b is 21. So there's nothing you can do there. That's what they want you to do, I think. Yeah, find another equation. Now for C, it's just a continuation A and B. Now you just have to solve the simultaneous pair of equations from part A and part B. So looking at C, we have 4a plus 4b and a plus b equals some values. Just make it easy. I just subtracted the equation and it gave me 3b equals 93. Divide by 3 and you get your value for b. And then just plug in your value b to any of these equations to get a. And I got minus 10. That's it. Like I said, this is an easy question. And and honestly, this paper overall was pretty good. I mean, if you guys did well, then seriously, you deserve it. Now, D. Hence, find a quadratic factor fx. So, if you think about this, the only time we get a quadratic factor from a cubic is that if we use long division and we divide it by a known factor like x plus 1. So, this one I didn't solve yet. I was hoping to do this to you guys. So essentially, you just want to do x plus 1 into this cubic term and then find the solution at the top, and that would be your quadratic factor. Now, let's see how we do this. So the first step is to ask yourself, how many times does the first x value fit into 24x cubed? And you can see if you divided x by this, you get 24x squared. So that's done. Now, what we do is to do 24x squared times x plus 1. And this will give us 24x cubed plus 24x squared. Now that's what you do. Now here we're going to subtract these pairs. So subtracting the 24x cubed, well, you get 0, and that's the objective. You're always supposed to get 0 here. Next, you do minus 10x squared, subtract 24 x squared, and you should get minus 34. And now drop this down because this is just long division, and then repeat the procedure. Now we ask ourselves, how many times does x fit into minus 34x squared? Again, just divide them and you're left with minus 34x. So just drop the power down by 1. And again, times minus 34x by x plus 1. So you always repeat that and you get minus 34x squared minus 34x. Okay, and just subtract. Again, this side gives you 0, so minus 3 minus 34. If you're not sure, I mean, I sometimes use a calculator. Because you got to write literally in the calculator minus 3 minus 34. And this should give us a nice 31x. And then drop the 31 down, plus 31. And you can kind of see that you're going to get a remainder 0 soon. So again, how many times x going to 31x? Well, it goes exactly plus 31 times 31 with x plus 1, and you get the exact same expression. And that's it. And you get a remainder of 0. And that's perfect, because that's what this means is a factor, and we already know x plus 1 is a factor. And that means our, what's it called, our quadratic solution is going to be, a quadratic factor is 24x squared minus 34x plus 31. That's it, all done.